G'day. Today's presentation is on the process of terminating employees in Google Apps. It's presented by Adrian Cosman-jones of Onsite Helper. I find many businesses lack a good process for removing their employees in Google Apps. It's very important to have this in place, as ex-staff may still have access to company information if it's not done properly, or even still old user accounts may still be in the system, which are a waste of money when having to renew accounts with Google Apps. We'll start off by showing 7 processes which include resetting the user's password in Google Apps, resetting their sign-in cookies, remotely wiping their mobile device, archiving their data using Google Takeout, changing the owner of any documents they may have owned in Google Drive, deleting or renaming the user, and setting up any email forwards. We'll start off by logging into the admin console of Google Apps. You can get there by opening up your Gmail, clicking on Settings, Manage this domain. Otherwise you can type in admin.google.com in a browser. First we'll find the user that we want to delete. Go into Users. In this case we'll be deleting Zeke. You can hover over his name and click Reset Password, or open up his profile, and then up the top here there's also an option to reset the password. So we'll go ahead and do that. Type in a new password. The new password needs to be at least 8 characters long and a level of complexity. Now that's done, we'll reset his sign-in cookies. So to do that you click on Profile, Reset Sign-in Cookies. This is important, as if the user had Google Apps open in their browser, they wouldn't be kicked out of their session. So as long as they've got their computer open and they're accessing emails or documents, they wouldn't be disconnected. Resetting the sign-in cookies automatically kicks them out of any open sessions, which is very important. Next part, we'll look at removing them from any mobile phone devices. So to do that, click on Device Management, Manage Devices. This is important, as if they've got a mobile phone with emails, Google Drive, calendars or anything like that, we can actually remotely wipe the device. In this case the user doesn't have anything set up, but you'd be able to select the device and choose either remote wipe or wipe account. The difference between these two is remote wipe will actually factory reset a mobile phone, including and wipe any data stored on that phone. So that includes any personal photos, downloaded documents, other email accounts. It basically restores it back to factory settings, removing all the data from the phone. You typically would only do this if the phone was stolen or the phone was lost and you couldn't retrieve the phone back. To do this you need to actually have the Google Device Policy app installed on the phone, and that's for Android or iOS devices. Otherwise, there's an option to wipe account. This is only available on Android devices. This will only remove that particular Google Apps account from that phone. So just that account's emails or documents, calendar, that type of thing, while still keeping their personal emails or any other email account still on the phone. The next thing you would do is run a Google Takeout. So Google Takeout basically backs up the whole profile into an archive. I recommend to open up a new window to do that, because you need to log into that user's account. So put in their details, sign in, Once you've logged in, you can open up a new window. Just do a search for Google Takeout. So this archives their emails, documents, calendar, contacts, basically everything. As you can see, it's doing it for this particular profile. Select all the things you want. Might as well tick them all. Create archive. So if the file's quite large, it may send you an email saying it's completed. Once completed, you basically download that file to your computer. Otherwise, in this case, it wasn't very large, so it's ready for me to download now. So as I mentioned, it creates a zip file. Now once you have this zip file, you can either store it locally on a computer or server in your network. Otherwise, it might be an idea to upload that zip file to another Google Apps account, to a Google Drive directory for terminated users, and just store everyone's archive folders in that one location. It's always good to have this handy in case in the future you realize you needed a particular email or a document which that user might have had. You can unzip it and extract that information, which is very important. Next part, we'll be looking at removing the account entirely from Google Apps. So we'll go back to the control panel and we'll look to first change the ownership of any documents that that user might have. So to do that, we go into Google Apps, open up Drive, Settings, Transfer Ownership. So you'd basically put in the person's account and the new account to where it's being transferred to, and you'd click Transfer Documents. This is important as once you delete the account, if any of these particular documents that this user had were shared with other users, suddenly those documents will go missing. Whereas opposed to transferring ownership, any documents that Zeke had will now become Adrian's documents, and then he can share them accordingly. So once you've done that, you're ready to remove their account. So we'll go back into Users. Now, there are two options here. You can either rename the user or delete them entirely. You choose the option to rename the account if you've got someone coming into that role which will basically need access to all their previous history. To do that, you click on Profile. You'd click on User Account. And up here is Rename User. You'd simply just change their contact details, email address, and all their documents, calendars, emails, contacts will all come across to that new user. Otherwise, if that's not necessary, you just simply delete the user, which will be this one here. Gives you a warning to say all documents will be deleted, emails and calendar events. When you're happy with this, delete it. It also mentions that you can undo this within 5 days of being deleted. After 5 days, it's permanently gone, so be very careful when deleting accounts. But seeing that we've backed up all the data, this should be fine to do regardless. The last thing you might want to do is a bit of email tidy up. Because we've deleted the account, basically any future emails sent to Zeke are going to go missing. The user will get a bounce back. So instead, I might get Adrian to receive these emails. So what I'm going to do is create an alias. So we're going to Profile, Aliases, we'll add an alias for Zeke. Save changes. Therefore, Adrian's going to receive any emails sent to Zeke in future. So that concludes this presentation. I hope you've gotten some value out of it. It's very important to have the right process in place to protect your business and information when terminating employees. Please stay tuned for more videos to come. Feel free to visit my blogs on my website, which is located at onsitehelper.com. Thank you for your time.